Welcome to Love Your Coaching. I'm Charlie, and today we're going to look at how we extend the four-part TEDA structure for coaching sessions that are longer than 30 or 40 or 50 minutes. When we get into coaching sessions that maybe go to an hour or longer, we find that the four-part structure needs a little bit of extending. So let's have a little look at that, see how we can extend the structure and see how we can make it useful and work well. If you haven't already watched the video on the four-part TEDA structure, which will be earlier along in this playlist, I suggest you go and watch that now, and then this video will make a little bit more sense. Hope that's okay. To start off, let's really think about when is it useful to have a slightly extended coaching structure. I tend to think is when we get sessions that are about an hour long. We're not big fans of going much longer than an hour. Maybe an hour and 15 is fine, but with these mammoth sessions that go to 2 and 3 hours, I find that it's hard for us to remember everything, and it's also hard for the coachee to keep their energy up. So I think a punchy 60, 75 minutes is probably the optimum maximum time for us. So this structure works really well for these longer 1 hour sessions. It's definitely not for new coaches. It's for coaches who've got some experience. And to qualify some experience, I mean coaches who have got 10 or 20 or 30 hours under their belt. It doesn't mean you have to have been coaching for 10 years, of course. But so long as you have got a good understanding of coaching practice and you've had some coaching sessions, then you can start moving to a slightly longer structure. This type of session is fine for one-off sessions, but it's really, really useful when you've got a series of coaching sessions with a coachee. So these longer sessions have a way of joining up a whole coaching program. So they work really well if you know you're seeing your coachee for 4 or 6 or 8 sessions, something of that nature. And in terms of the issues that people will bring, they can be very practical issues, but they're likely to be thornier issues, figglier issues, issues that have got more legs than maybe a simple upcoming conversation type of issue. So it's a really good opportunity to be able to think and give our coachee time to explore things that have got slightly greater depth. There are other reasons, but they're the main reasons I think that this type of extended structure is really useful. So let's look at it. Firstly, a reminder of what the standard TEDA structure looks like. We have this topic, exploring, developing, and action stage. So those 4 stages, each with their own purpose. As I said, I explained them in detail on the other video. That is our standard 4-part coaching structure that can be used for any coaching session. But if we've got a bit more time than 30 or 40 minutes, then we can add some bits in. And the bits in colour, I think, are the bits that we can add in. So you can see a little plus sign by the topic stage. So we spend in a bit more time at the topic stage. A little plus sign at the action stage. Again, spend more time there. And definitely more time at the midpoint at check-in. So let's talk through each of those and see what I mean by that. When I say topic plus, for all coaching sessions, we have to ask the topic, we have to ask a session outcome, and we probably want to ask a couple more questions about what's important or why this topic now. If we've got a longer session, I think it's really good to think at this stage, do we do a bit of contracting with our coachee? Do we check in? What are they looking for from us? How do they want to work? Are they up for some challenge today? I think there's a good opportunity there to be able to really build the coaching relationship and tailor the way we're going to work to our coachee. So that's the extended topic stage. The exploring stage will be as our standard TEDA, when we are getting the facts and the feelings on the table, we're understanding what's going on for our coachee, and we're starting to give them the opportunity to see how relevant this topic is for them to work on. And we can spend more time at this stage. We can get into more depths even in the exploration. So then we introduce this new stage, and it's just a midpoint check-in. It's quite simple and straightforward. It doesn't have to be fancy. It's a simple, how are we doing? How's this coaching session working for you? How near are you towards getting towards your goal from today? And it gives the coachee the opportunity to maybe have a bit of summative thinking, a bit of learning so far. I think it works really well. Often, rather than having one learning point in a standard coaching session, introducing this second learning point means that more learnings may emerge. It also gives you and the coachee the opportunity to change direction. So at the end of this midpoint, you may say, okay, so where are we going to next? Should we carry on with what we're focusing on, or is there a slight shift? And it gives them the opportunity to take the slight shift. So that's a midpoint check-in. In the classroom, in teaching, they talk about a hinge point question. At that hinge point in a lesson where you see what's working well and whether you have to adapt. And I think we can use it in a very similar way. Then we go back to the TEDA structure. We have this developing stage, which gives the new opportunity to see what's growing, what's changing, what's developing. And it's the gentle moving towards the end stage so that the coachee has the opportunity to be able to see and work out and name their actions. Then the action stage expands, and we're now calling this Action Plus. So for a short TEDA session, we would have definitely asked and talked about the actions and maybe obstacles, commitment. But here, with a longer stage, we've got other things we can do. So we can return to the outcome. We can say, so at the beginning of this hour, you wanted to achieve X. How are we doing? How near are you to that outcome? Gives an opportunity to do that. Yes, we'll ask about the actions, but we can also ask about this other thing. We can also ask what we might call the metacognitive question. What have they learnt about themselves by talking all of this through? So you can see here, we have taken our standard TEDA structure. We've expanded the topic stage. We've put in a new middle stage as a brief check-in, and we've also put in an extra bit at the action stage. With all of this in mind, I hope that you find that this is a useful way of thinking about coaching for a longer period of time, and that you can see there's some real value in being able to add in all of these extra stages. Do have a go. It doesn't just be for 60-minute sessions. You could find anything up from probably about 40 minutes. It feels relevant to build in a bit of contracting and a midpoint checking. You might find that this is your new standard approach, your new standard structure. I tend to feel that when I am coaching someone for about an hour, this would be my standard way of coaching. And I enjoy coaching like this because it means we can go at a decent pace, but know that we've got that check-in moment in the middle. Because I know that we'll always ring fence a bit of time at the end to be able to really understand where they've got to and what they've learned. And also to know that at the beginning, they have given me a bit of a steer about how they want to work. So we're calling it the extended TEDA structure. Have a go. See how it is. There is a demo video for you to watch over on our playlist. So go and have a look at that. I'll put the link in here below. Enjoy your coaching. Enjoy coaching this way. I hope you get on well. Have a good day and happy coaching.